Hey guys, it's Miss H. So today we're going to be talking about unit rates, alright? This is nothing different than last year. I'm going to pull this blue sheet down and it's going to reveal the stuff that you need to put in your blanks in highlighter. So, finding unit rates. How do we find unit rates? What is a unit rate first? A rate is a comparison of two quantities that have different units. Alright, for example, miles and hours. When we're talking about miles and hours, normally you don't say 60 miles in 60 hours, right? You normally say 3 miles in 2 hours. So they have different quantities, right? And they have different units. Miles is obviously in miles, hours is obviously in hours. We abbreviate it with MPH. That P stands for per, and it is very important right here. This P is very important. Alright, then we have a unit rate. A unit rate is talking about a single item. So we're going to say each item has a denominator of 1. So if we're talking about miles per hour, it means how many miles did we go in 1 hour? How many feet did we go in 1 hour? Something with 1 at the end, 1 in your denominator. Alright, well, let's look at this example real fast. Miss H, me, drives 60 miles in 2 hours. What is her speed? Well, if we're talking speed, if you're driving a car, you're not going to go feet per second, right? You're going to be talking about miles per hour. I'm going to give you a hint. Ready? Hint is per means to divide. You need to remember that per means to divide. If you forget it, you're going to be in bad luck. Okay? Per means to divide. So, if we're talking speed, I found miles per hour. I want to rewrite miles per hour, so rewrite that with me. Per means to divide, so we're going to put a division sign. How many miles? Does your question tell you how many miles? Good, 60 miles. So you're going to rewrite 60. What about hours? Does it tell you anything about hours? Good, it says 2 hours. So what is 60 divided by 2? It's 30. 30 what? We're talking speed, so we need to have 30 miles per hour. In 60, if I go 30 miles per hour, I can go 60 miles in 2 hours. Alright, moving on up. You can have complex fractions that use as unit rates. Remember, per means to divide. A unit rate is just a division problem, guys. A unit rate is a division problem. Okay, remember a complex fraction is a fraction over a fraction. That over part, that's just a fraction divided by a fraction. Alright, let's look at this example. Alright, it says, Paige mows 1/6 acres in 1/4 hours. How many acres does Paige mow per hour? Well, first thing I want you to do is when you see that word per, you know you're going to do what? Good, you know you're going to divide. I know I'm going to do acres divided by hours. You need to, after you find per, you need to find your two items that you're talking about. So, I need to rewrite it. Acres per hour. Now look back in the beginning of your sentence. Does it tell you how many acres you have? Yes, it does. You have 1/6 acres. Per means to divide, and you have 1/4 hours. Now, this could also look like this. 1/6 over 1/4, right? This bar right here, fraction is just a division problem. All that means is to divide. Let's look at this problem now, though. This can also look like that. They're reversible. Dividing fractions, easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. Now, you can only cross simplify when you have a multiplication problem. I tell my kids, look, this kind of looks like a cross from the side, okay, or an X. You can only cross multiply when you have a multiplication sign. Sorry, I said cross multiply, I meant cross simplify, I'm sorry. Okay, so this turns to a 3, this turns to a 2. Multiplying fractions, top times top, bottom times bottom. Multiplying fractions ain't no problem. 2/3, what does that mean? She can do 2/3 acres per hour. She can mow 2/3 acres each hour. Alright, I want you to try this next one on your own, okay? Alright, you should have done it, okay? Greta uses 3 ounces of pasta to make 3/4 servings of pasta. Alright, well, let's look. How many ounces of pasta are there per serving? I have ounces per serving. Per means to what? Good. Divide. Ounces means to find your ounces. You have 3 ounces. Per, divide, servings. How many servings did you have? Good. 3/4 servings. Now, I have a fraction here and a whole number here. You can't divide a whole number and a fraction, so you need this whole number to look like a good fraction. And how do we make the whole number look like a fraction? Yes, you put it over 1. So, 3 dividing fractions easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. Now, can I cross simplify? Yes, you can. 3 and 3. Top times top. Bottom times bottom. Multiplying fractions ain't no problem. 4 divided by 1 is really just 4. What does this 4 mean? It means we have 4. Can you see it? Yeah. 4 ounces per serving. Okay, are we good? Look, and remember at the top it said that unit rate has a denominator of 1. Look, and it has a denominator of 1. Good. Okay. Alright, flip over to the back. Using unit rates. When solving for unit rates and you have a complex fraction, make sure you simplify them to make the work easier for you. Guys, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. All it means is you need to work these problems out. So, 1 tank is filling at a rate of 3/4 gallons per 2/3 minute. A second tank is filling at a rate of 5/8 gallons per 1/2 minute. Which tank is filling faster? Okay, so we have tank 1 and we have tank 2. So let's write tank 1 over here, tank 2 over here. I'm going to leave some space down here for some final work, okay? Alright. I know tank 1, look, I give you a little hint. Think gallons per minute. So I have 3/4 gallons per means to divide per minute. Dividing fractions easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. Cross simplify. Can we cross simplify? No, we cannot. So we need to just top times top is 9. Bottom times bottom is 8. Okay, I want you to work this out. Top dog goes in the house. Denominator goes on the outside. 8 can go into 9 once. 1 left over, so it's 1 and 1/8. Now, if you took your fraction decimal quiz and you aced it, you know that 1/8, 1 and 1/8 can be rewritten as 1. We keep our whole number, right? Change your fraction to a decimal. 1 and 125 thousandths gallons per minute. That's for the first one. Now you work the second one out. Alright, you should have seen that's gallons per minute again. 5/8 per means to divide. You write gallon per minute. Per minute, you have 1/2 minute. Dividing fractions easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. Can you cross simplify? Yes. 5/4. That will simplify to 1 and 1/4. Again, if you remember your fractions to decimal quiz, you know that 1/4 simplifies to 25 hundredths. But you can't forget about your whole number. So I have 1 and 25 hundredths gallons per minute. Now, The question isn't asking you how fast is that one and how fast is that one. The question is asking which one is faster. So you need to compare. So I'm going to rewrite my decimals down here. I have tank 1, tank 2. Alright, now I put an extra 0 there so everything's lining up. Cover it up. Do you have more money if you're talking about $125 or $250? Yeah, you have more money if you're talking about $250. So this is going at a faster rate because it's bigger. It can fill up more space in a shorter amount of time, more gallons per minute, okay? So tank 2 is your answer. Alright, last question, yay! Okay, Jeff hikes 1/2 mile every 15 minutes, or they rewrote 15 minutes for you in hours, which is 1/4 hour. Lisa hikes 1/3 mile every 10 minutes, or 1/6 hour, so they rewrote that into hours. How far do they each hike in 1 hour and in 2 hours? Well, let's have Jeff on this side, Lisa on this side. Pause it, and I want you to work them out. Think miles per hour. We're going to do per hour instead of per minute. So, ready? Pause. Alright, so if you work Jeff out, you should have said miles per hour. Same with Lisa. Miles per hour. Alright, Jeff walked how many miles? He walked 1/2 mile. Per means to divide. In how many hours? Not 15. That's not 15 hours, that's 15 minutes. So I want to look for my hour, which is 1/4. So guess what you get to do to the 15? Bye-bye. Alright, dividing fractions easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. You can cross simplify 2 to 1 and 4 to 2, because 2 can go to 2 once, 2 can go to 4 twice. Top times top, bottom times bottom. Multiplying fractions ain't no problem. 2 divided by 1 turns into 2 miles per hour. So 2 miles for every hour. So I have in 1 hour, Jeff can walk 2 miles, right? Because your question's asking how far do they each hike in 1 hour. So in 2 hours, if you have 2 hours and you can walk 2 miles in each hour, 2 times 2, right, would give you 4 miles. Okay, now let's work out Lisa. Miles is 1/3. Per means to divide. Hours, we're not talking about minutes, so bye-bye. Hours is talking about 1/6 hour. Dividing fractions easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. This turns to a 1. This turns to a 2. Oh, look, we have 2 over 1 again, which is 2 miles per hour. So what do you know? They're walking at the same rate, right? The same rate they're walking at. So she can walk 1 hour in 2, or she can walk 2 miles in 1 hour, and she can walk 4 miles in 2 hours. Alright, if you don't understand something, guys, you have a QR readers. You have QR readers next to every question in your book. It's number 2.1 is the unit that you're working on. So look there. Also, there's written examples of how to do this. If you don't understand those, rewind it, watch it again. Do not forget to press submit. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.